Can an air fryer replace your mama? Well, probably not. But I'll say this. When it comes to things like pork chops and many items, but things you wouldn't try if mother wasn't there or around or cooking it for you, they can. Because you can take that pork chop, those 2 pork chops right there like we're fixing to do, and no batter, no breading or anything. We're going to put some seasoning on it. We're going to cook it in this air fryer, and I promise you, it is really, really good, almost as good as mother's, and it's really easy, and anybody can do it. And I challenge you to go buy one of these. Stop what you're doing. Go buy an air fryer if you don't have one, or unwrap the one you got from Christmas a few years ago and see what I'm talking about. Go get a pork chop in an air fryer and let's cook one. I'm John Sanders, also known as Jelly 007. By the way, that's my mother right there. And I guarantee you, if she was here, she would be proud of how these pork chops are fixing to end up. Okay, so for this recipe, I tried to find, a common center cut bone-in pork chop, which is what you see a lot of times in a family pack at a grocery store. And it's 3/4 of an inch thick. So that's what we're working with. What I'm going to do, and that's all, you can use anything you want. I say this all the time. You can even just use salt and pepper, and that's why I have my salt out here. I'm not going to use the salt. I'm going to use the pepper. And as you all know, something I use all the time and I love, it's Lowry seasoned salt. It works with a lot of things. So that's just what I use. Now, I'm going to spray them lightly with avocado oil, just like that right there, and flip them around and do the same thing on both sides. And I'm going to lightly sprinkle them with some seasoned salt and then some black pepper that I'm going to grind over the top of them. Then we're going to preheat this unit. In fact, we'll do that right now because when you come back, I'll have those seasoned and this will be preheated and we'll be ready to drop them in to show you just how simple this is. We're going to use air fry because everybody's air fryer has an air fry feature, and any air fryer will do in this recipe. I'm telling you, I've used more than one. This is one of my favorite ones for this type recipe. So we're going to do, I tell you what, I'm going to set it for 20 minutes and we're going to watch it, and I'm going to be looking at it, and I'm going to flip this food. I'm going to flip these chops at some point. But we're going to say 375. I'm going to lower it to 375. I'm going to do that. Let it preheat for a little while. You can see it says it's preheating, but sometimes I go further than what it wants, but it's no big deal. When I come back, these will be done. These will be seasoned. We'll be ready to drop them in. So be back in just a second. Here's how I kind of do this. This is a big jug, so you have to kind of be careful. Not even sure you can see what I'm doing, but I just kind of do that right there. And I'll do that on both of them. And like I said, normally this might be something I would do after I flipped it in the fryer. So, and then I'm going to do this right here. Put that right there, about that much. And that right there, about that much. And if you were using salt, obviously you just sprinkle the salt there instead of the seasoned salt. And if you, like I said, if you watch my channel, I love the stuff. I use it all the time. Of course, they're not paying me. They don't know who I am. It's just that good of stuff on a lot of things. I think if you'll find it as a go-to, if you just keep it in your cabinet and you can't find exactly what's right, on a lot of meats, fishes, chicken, salmon, pork chops, it works well on all. But that's my opinion, and you may have your own, but wanted to put that in there. So I'm letting that preheat probably another 5 or 6 minutes, but we'll see. I'll be back in a second. When that's good and hot, we're going to drop those in. Okay, there they are, and it's preheated plenty of time. These have kind of marinated with the seasoned salt. So we're about to open this up. I'm going to spray that basket, by the way, and we're going to set them in. So I'll set that right there. I'm going to spray that just to help with cleanup. That's all that's really about, just to help maybe clean those up a little bit. But you might hear these sizzle. Let's see. Just a little bit. They didn't bad. But I mean, we're 375. That's not really hot temp. So now, what I'm going to do, make sure everybody can see what I'm doing, I'm going to hit cancel. And that's because I like to set my times and temps where I know where they are. So we're going to hit, in fact, we'll leave it right there because I'm going to open it and watch it along the way. I might take temp checks, and at some point, we're going to flip it over. So, 20 minutes, 375, we hit start. Now it thinks it's got a preheat, and it'll tell me to add the food in just a second, but all I have to do, if you have one of these type devices, when it does that, you can either leave it alone and it will automatically clear the add food, or you just open it and close it right back. So anyhow, we'll be back in a few minutes when that counts down a little bit, and we'll see how it's looking. Okay, we're at the 10-minute mark, where right now, we're just going to open up. I'll show you what they look like. Whoops, they look good. As a matter of fact, I'll do it like this. And you can see they look fantastic. What we're going to do is flip them over, and we're going to let them brown on the other side just a little bit. Let's see how they look on that side. To be honest with you, they look fine on both sides. There's nothing wrong with that either. But you can see what I mean. Sometimes I do want to dress up the side that was on the bottom. That's why a lot of times I will, in fact, I'm going to leave that alone. A lot of times I won't season this side until I flip them over. So we're back running. In just a few minutes, we're going to pull it out and take a few temps, maybe in 3 or 4 minutes, because it's probably getting close. Okay, so let's take some temps. So that's been 13 minutes of cook time. And, man, well, I'll show you. They look really good. And I got a feeling they're close to temp. You can see them sizzling on the back. There's 159. We're looking for, well, I'll put it like this. I saw 159. So, and you can get temps wherever you go, all, you know, different ones. But I did see 159 right here just a second ago. My point is, 165 is what the USDA or the FDA or somebody recommended for many years. Well, now they've lowered that to 145. And I'm not saying you shouldn't use the 145. It's just that a lot of people here, including myself, I don't like to see red running from a pork chop. So the fact that I saw 159, I think the red stops around 165. So I'm not going to dry it out, and you will if you go really far past that. But what we're going to do is let that go to about maybe 6 or 5, and there it goes with the turn food, which is a good idea, but we don't need to because we've already turned it. So anyhow, we'll let that go for another minute. We're going to open it up and eat them. Be back. Okay, there is the 5-minute mark, which means 15 minutes total cook time at 375 degrees. And we'll take some temp readings right quick just to make sure I feel positive we are good. 165 is what we want. There's 166. This one right here, same way, 166. So all I want to do is move these out. I'm going to let them rest just a minute, and then we're going to see how they taste. So, hold on, and I will be right back. All right, right there it is. Now, whether it replaces Mother's pork chops, I don't know. I don't think it does. But I'll say this. They are absolutely excellent for as easy as they are to cook. Anybody can do it. I could go on and on. But that is, if I can get it, just that right there is perfectly cooked pork. And excellent flavor. And all you really need is this right here. Some loaf bread and these pork chops. You can make the biggest meal, one of the best meals you've ever had. And if you've ever done that before, you know what I mean. We know what I'm going to wait before I eat that because I know what's going to happen. I can't really chew and talk. But I will show this. I will show you this. If I can keep from making a huge mess. Again. That is what I call perfect 15 minutes. 15 minutes on a 3/4 inch pork chop at 375 degrees. and it is absolutely 100% perfect. Hey, I love y'all all. I promise you, if you try this, you'll like it. And if you don't, like I always say, call me out and tell me. Now look, I'm going to eat this, but as I do, I'm going to sign off. I promise you, I'm not crazy about smacking on television. So, hey, y'all have a good night. Love y'all all. Come back to see me. Cook you some pork chops in your air fryer, and let me know what you think. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye.